Hi, today I want to talk to you about infidelity. So I have a book coming out in January 2018 called Helping Couples Overcome Infidelity. And in this video series, I'm going to talk about a few different tips regarding infidelity to help you get through the crisis period. So after an infidelity, a lot of people struggle. Basically, it's this big up and down roller coaster. And there's a lot of things going on that are basically causing a lot of harm. So one tip to avoid things getting any worse is for the person who has committed the infidelity or the affair or betrayal, whatever you want to call it, don't say the words or the phrase, "I don't know." This is hard. Well, first I want to tell you why it happens. So sometimes people forget things a month ago, 2 months ago, depending on how long the infidelity took place. And the timeline, if I asked you, hey, remember what you were doing on Saturday a month ago at around 3 p.m. Most people aren't going to easily remember what happened because that's just how time works in memory. Memory is not great. But when the person who did cheat says the phrase, "I don't know," it appears to their partner as though they aren't trying. They don't care to tell you, or they're purposefully trying to keep information from you. So instead of doing that, it's better to say, "I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to remember." And take some time to try and remember your timeline to the best of your ability. This isn't an easy process. And honestly, this part is what is the worst part, is really trying to figure out what happened, when, how, why. There's going to be a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of misunderstandings. But if you can try to, instead of say, "I don't know," say, "I can't remember exactly, but I'm going to try and remember as best as I can," that tends to prevent bigger escalations or bigger fights. And take some time, if you were the one who committed the infidelity, to look back. Think back to when things kind of started. When people ask the question, "When did it start?" they're not talking about just when it became sexual or just when it became like an emotional affair. They want to know, like, when was your first contact with this person? And so when you're trying to remember that timeline, try to remember the first time you ever connected with them and let your partner know that, yeah, we started at work, or it really started casual. We were just playing a game, or whatever it was. It's better to tell them the details of the timeline. And you don't need to tell them everything. That's another thing that people struggle with, because they think, do I need to know everything? Do I want to know everything? You don't need to know everything, like what kinds of sex was happening and what positions. But what you do need to know is, who was the person involved? Who did you cheat with? Or how many people, if there was more than one. They need to know about what happened. Was it something that lasted, like how long did it last? Did it last for 2 months, 3 months? Was it a year? Was it a day? They do need to know how long. They do need to know what happened, if it was sex or if it was just an emotional affair, if it was just sexting. And then they need to know the nature of the relationship. And this means, are you in love with each other? Did you fall in love with another person, or are you unsure? Are you trying to figure that out? Those are the details that are important, because those affect your partner. If they decide to stay in the relationship, then they need to know what they're competing against. And the hardest thing, if you're in this position, is you don't want to hurt your partner. You don't want to tell them all these details, because every detail is so painful. But it's better for you to tell them now, and then you guys figure it out as a team, than for you to withhold details. And that's why, going back to the original tip, saying "I don't know" makes it look like you're withholding details. And it's a scarier place for them to be than to know, and to know exactly what they're dealing with. So those are the pieces of information that can be helpful. There's more coming along the way. If these are helpful, please like, share, subscribe, write comments or reviews, or questions. Please feel free to write a question. And you can see me as a therapist at www.therapistinstlouis.com. Thank you.